Welcome back to the fourth episode of Dspn. Today we have a special guest. As you can see, we got Corey
What's going
up
on?
in here. First appearance on the podcast.
First
guest on the podcast.
As it
First
feels.
guess.
That's history.
That's actually history. I'm a big part of this history. Big part of U.S. history, actually. You're going to be learning about me one day.
Yep. 500 years is going to be in the classroom.
All right. We're going to start with the NFL recap because that's everything. Because that's our favorite thing to do. The Lions beat the Packers 34-31.
Frick the Packers.
It was a good game. Lions are on a warpath still.
Yo, literally, big fan of Jared Goff. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Jared Goff he should be like if there's a most improved player.
There's nothing to improve on. He was a dog last year.
I'm saying this year he's taken his team to
I think
one loss this entire season.
I think the Lions are the biggest Cinderella story of the NFL right now because they've never been great. They've never won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
They haven't been good in like 70
I
years.
hope that the Lions do absolutely great.
Dude,
until they beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship. I hope the Lions I hope the Lions go crazy in every game and play the Eagles in the NFC Championship.
I just want to see them succeed, honestly.
I want to see them succeed.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think
Not
they're
ahead
ever
of the
going to
Eagles.
actually meet the Bills. I don't think they're actually going to meet the Bills. So I don't really care.
We'll see that next week.
All right. Speaking of next,
Oh, shoot.
Speaking of next, the Steelers beat the Browns 27-14.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I
that
love Jameis though.
kind of a boring game. You
Yep.
saw the Jameis flop. The Jameis flop was kind of funny.
Yep.
Did you see
Still
that?
love
clip?
Jameis Winston.
Did you see the
Jameis
clip?
Winston is like, dude, I wish he was my godfather. Like, I wish me and Jameis Winston were boys.
Yeah, I wish that I could just hang out with Jameis Winston on the
Yo,
weekends.
literally.
I want
him at the Thanksgiving dinner
Jameis
table.
Winston on this podcast would low key go crazy.
Dude, if I got to pick athletes on a Thanksgiving dinner table, Jameis Winston is one of them.
Is it
without a
Jameis
doubt.
Winston and John Sim?
Without a
Yo,
doubt.
literally.
You know, if everyone's bringing a dish, Jameis Winston's bringing crab legs.
Yo,
Yo, that's
Jameis Winston. Yo, and he's got a dress. He kind of dresses like Cam Newton low key too. He's got his
But I
own
think
style.
that
Little
just
bit
adds to
less,
the
though.
fact that he's kind of a tool.
I just love him. I don't know.
That adds to the fact that he's just a goober.
I just want to be his friend. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
the Giants lost again to no one's surprise. The Saints beat them
Horrible
14-11.
franchise. Horrible franchise.
The Giants have as many wins at home this year as have as many wins in MetLife Stadium as the Rangers and the Devils, and yeah, that's pretty sad.
It's not right.
The Dolphins beat the Jets 32-26. Poor Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, poor guy.
Neither
poor
of the
guy.
teams are really good. So
Both the teams
Tua turned the ball over.
kind of buns, and
Tua needs to retire. But
yeah.
In probably the most boring game of the week, the Jags beat the
who?
The Giants beat the Jags won against the Titans 10-6.
Okay.
Will Levis, bro.
Bum.
Will Levis.
Bum.
Yo,
Penn State
if I am buying a jar of mayonnaise from a man, I want him to be Will Levis.
Yep.
Like if I really need a jar of mayo, I'd love to buy it from Will Levis.
I'm not a big mayonnaise guy, but I trust Will Levis. I'll take his word that it's good coffee.
For the context that you people don't know, he made mayonnaise, right? Or did he make a fragrance?
No, he puts it in his coffee.
And then he also made a fragrance that was mayonnaise.
Dude, he's
wasn't it?
on the Mayo
Nasty.
Whip commercial or whatever, or like,
Yeah, Hellman's mayonnaise. Yeah.
bro.
It's just not okay. The Vikings destroyed the Falcons 42-21.
Not
So-
surprised.
Pure Falcons fashion.
Big Kirko wakes up throwing picks.
Big
Bro, big Kirko needs to stop
Dude,
playing.
Kirko.
These last
Go back to the
like
Vikings.
4 games, he's been seeing out of his snapped Achilles to throw the ball.
Yo, him and Sam Darnold,
Terrible.
Loki, like switch places, bro. He's seeing ghosts now, and Sam Darnold's been pretty good this year. I'm not gonna lie. I love seeing Sam Darnold do something good.
Second week in a row, I've been saying this. Play Michael Penix.
There was a clip of
Michael Penix.
they were throwing like just a deep ball to Justin Jefferson, and the coverage was so bad. Once the guy realized he was 10 yards away from Justin Jefferson, he slipped and fell.
I was seeing there was a clip from that game where Kirko was throwing. I don't think he threw a pick, but he threw it. He threw the ball like pretty much into the ground. Michael Penix is on the sideline just.
He's like, "Give me a shot, dude, please."
Yo,
And Penix is like old, like as
He's like
an old-
25.
yeah,
25.
He's like Jalen Hurts' age right now.
Yeah.
I think
honestly,
he could be good too. I think he could
I
definitely
think
play in the
the
NFL.
city of Atlanta is like a really amazing place to have a good football team, and they don't.
They have a really cool stadium.
It's
Even
good.
though it looks like a butthole.
It's a really good place to have a bad baseball team, and I hope they have one.
Do you agree that their stadium looks like the Mercedes-Benz
Their stadium
stadium looks
is
like a
cool,
butthole? It looks
It's
like a
an
butthole.
interesting design. We'll leave it at that.
We both know it does.
definitely-
It's an
definitely
interesting
modern.
design.
It's definitely
It's
modern.
modern. Yeah.
The Eagles beat the Panthers 22-16 in a trap game.
So the Brandon Graham apologized about what he said about Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. He just made assumptions. I think we're good. We're fine. We have we rank 31st in most passing yards a game. So that is second to last. And first in rushing yards a game, which is good.
Well, because
I don't want the Eagles to throw the ball. In fact, I want them to run the ball every freaking play.
they could probably get down the field by running it every play.
Well, they have so many options. You know what I mean? Jet sweep.
I honestly
AJ or
couldn't
whoever.
care less if Jalen Hurts threw the ball 5 times. Like, I couldn't care if he threw the ball 5 times. I know A.J. Brown's not happy about how many targets he's getting, but when you have the best running back in the league, you use them. It's that simple.
They just have so many weapons though that complement the run. Like you have Jalen Hurts, you've got obviously Saquon Barkley, and then if they want to they're not really a jet sweep team. They really go
No.
up the middle. But
Yeah, the offensive...
All right, my camera died, but Mason got breaking news
We
in the
have-
middle of it.
We have breaking news. Max Fried and the Yankees are in agreement on an 8-year, $218 million contract.
I'm a big fan of that, honestly.
I'm a big fan too, because
Again, not a Braves guy.
I'm not a Braves guy.
Yeah.
Definitely, and I'm a Yankees guy.
I'm not a Braves guy.
Mason is not a Yankees guy.
I gotta watch Juan Soto play against the
Bro,
play against the
you will
Phillies
hear
until
about
I'm
my
30.
opinions on
Until I'm
Juan
30.
Soto.
I'm gonna have to watch him play in the NL East until I'm 30 years old.
We will get there.
30 years of age.
We will get there. But next, the Browns, not the Browns, the Broncos beat the Raiders 28-13. That's a very close score to a traumatic score for a lot of fans.
All right.
Broncos beat the Raiders. BFD.
Yeah, honestly. But listen to me. Hold up. Bo Nix, I'm just saying, if there wasn't a Jaden Daniels in the same rookie class as Bo Nix, I would say Bo Nix has a very strong case to be the rookie of the year.
People were grading
agree with that.
after the draft, people were grading the pick as horrible. Like,
Seriously.
they said, why? Why do
I
that?
think both of us thought it was a horrible pick.
Bo Nix has
We were-
played so beyond. I hope he's not another Mitch Trubisky or Justin
they're
Fields.
having
or,
a winning season, and it's the Broncos.
They are. But I kind of hope that he doesn't have a really good first year and then get screwed over later on or just suck. But I love seeing Bo Nix play well, honestly.
The Seahawks beat the Cardinals 30-18. BFD.
That division's in a dogfight.
That's the second time they beat the Cardinals.
I think so.
I think the Cardinals are not.
Is Kyler Murray the problem?
Thanks to the
No.
Cardinals for beating them. The Eagles are officially a playoff team. So
Oh,
That was a
they
horrible
are.
high
They
five.
just clinched it. I just saw it earlier, actually.
49ers destroyed the Bears 38-13.
Caleb Williams bum.
Caleb Williams needs to go back home and paint his nails.
He needs to go back home, collect that NIL money from college, and
Yo,
retire.
literally.
He's in. You've seen the Wendy's ads. He's probably made $1 or $2, so he can
Honestly.
he can settle down in
Well,
an LA penthouse right now.
If you listen to the things that he says, though, and what a lot of people think of him, is he's such a locker room poison. And all he talks about, if you watch his press conferences or if you watch his Twitter or his Instagram, he's always talking crap about the Bears.
yeah,
And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn this team around." He told the punter, he's like, "You're not gonna punt much this year."
yeah, my ass. You're gonna not.
Yeah, literally. All he does is punt. But he's such a locker room poison. He wears that captain patch on his jersey, and I don't
Yeah, it's
understand why.
basically just because he's a quarterback. That's it.
Yeah, literally. Honestly, they should rip it off him like they did Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
Freaking Danny Nichols, dude.
Danny Nichols.
We'll get to Danny Nichols.
The Rams
Ooh.
beat the Bills 44-42 in a thriller.
That was a shootout.
Josh Allen had probably the craziest game that we've ever seen.
Yeah,
Yo.
that game was an absolute shootout.
Three passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. I think over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, over
And,
100 yards
I think it
rushing.
was it 500 yards passing?
No, it's...
Probably not 500.
No, that was. I'm trying to think. What
He had
was it at
342 passing. He had 342 passing, 3 touchdowns in the
500
air,
something.
and then I think he had he either had 100 or close to 100 on the ground with 3 touchdowns in a game where the Bills should have won and had a horrible defense. Bro, they wouldn't get
sold the bag so hard
because they wouldn't play man coverage to save their life. I don't understand why they didn't play man. They were like in cover 3, cover 6 almost the entire game.
And then because you have 2 guys that like there's 2 dudes. Okay, if you can lock these 2 up, you're good. If you lock up Cooper Kupp and you lock up Puka Nacua, you're good.
But once you see that, then you start going to the
Also,
run game
too,
with Kyron Williams, who's also an absolute dog.
In my opinion, too, like the Rams are a much better team than the record entails.
Yeah.
Because they've had Puka Nacua was out, Cooper Kupp was out.
Guantanamo Bay inmate.
All right, bro. No, they had a lot of guys out, and what are they, 7-6 now? Like, I think that they're closer to a much better team, in my opinion. Closer to a 10-win team than it entails.
The Chiefs used a lot of false starts on the last drive to beat the Chargers 19-17.
That was a good game.
Black magic.
He's a witch.
Mahomes?
Mahomes is a witch.
For real, Mahomes is of the devil.
Not of the devil. Not of the devil.
Mahomes is using some sort of black voodoo magic or something.
You said he found a witch doctor in New Orleans last
Yeah,
week.
he found some voodoo woman in New Orleans that basically said, drink this, like, snake blood and, like, finger of dead baby if you want to, like, win the, like, not winning season.
Oh my god.
You never want to, like, never lose to the Bills again? I got you.
I got you. I bet you drink this. This is like a what is this? Ground sea turtle. Drink this.
This entails at least 4 more Super Bowls.
Yeah.
It might cut your throat. That's okay.
It might cut off 16 years of your lifespan. But
You might get
go.
CTE, but here you go. Here's your sea turtle suit.
The Bengals beat the Cowboys 27-20 after a blocked field goal. Good job, Cowboys.
Well, the Cowboys always find a way to lose, buddy. Always find a way to lose.
They're inventing new ways to lose.
They really are.
They are.
Tried to catch it like this.
That doesn't really work.
There were so many drops, too, in that game, actually.
This does not really work to catch the ball.
Yeah, especially when it goes up by your shoulder and then you get the don't get
As
the
a
ball.
football player, you could
You don't
probably
get the ball and then
low-key,
you run down the
honestly.
field.
The only thing, in my opinion, the Cowboys have going for them is Kevontae Turpin. Kevontae Turpin is low-key a dog.
They would have
He's
one
just
more
a
thing going
returner.
for him if Trayvon Diggs wasn't hurt.
Cooper Rush, honestly, he's definitely he does his best Jameis
He's
Winston
dookie.
and he does his best Jameis Winston impression because he'll absolutely have perfect placement on a ball and then throw like a Sam Darnold type interception in the middle of nowhere. Like there's nobody around him. So
Yeah.
All right, so I had a bunch of takes, but we already got there. So we'll do NFL playoff predictions while we're here. Dead air.
How the hell are the Dolphins 6-7?
Because Tyreek Hill
yo,
is washed.
all right.
All right, so we're back, and we finally
For
got the
one
link.
second, not anymore as of last game, but Tyreek Hill up until what, like week 11?
Up until last night.
Oh yeah, he had more kids than
He had more
than
kids
touchdown
than
passes.
touchdown passes. He can sling it.
Yeah, he like
He has game, and I'm not talking about football.
what an absolute stud.
Player of the week for a different reason.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Stud. He's probably got about he's got like what 13 kids, and he's probably got at least 5 more like undone. He's definitely
I'd be forgetting names. I'm not
yeah.
lying.
He's like
I wouldn't
wait.
even-
Which one are you again?
Who's your mom? Who's your mother? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I remember your mom.
What's your mom's name? Like Carol
man.
or something? Like
Or was it Carol or was it
let me check my
Carol or was it Sheila? I can't tell which one
Sheila.
it was.
Let me check my child support payment, then I'll figure it out. I'll know her name.
All right, so we finally got the link up for our playoff stuff. So far,
NFL playoff.
in the AFC, the Chiefs and the Bills have already clinched. Chiefs will get the number 1 spot because they're using voodoo magic. The Bills will probably be number 2. Who do we think will be the other 2 teams? We're not going to do the wild card. We'll just do the other 2 teams that get into
Steelers,
it.
Texans.
Yeah.
Steelers and Texans win their divisions. Okay, and then the
Who else is in the AFC North or AFC South that's really in the
Ravens.
contention?
Ravens
Okay, well the Ravens are 8-5 right now.
No, that's nothing to laugh at.
and the
who beat the
Steelers are like
Ravens?
10-3.
Steelers are 10-3.
Yeah, I think the Ravens will get the wild card spot, and I think the Chargers will probably sneak in there too.
You know who I would love to
Yeah.
see? in there is the frickin' Broncos
Yep.
and Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Bo Nix.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a
Absolute
Broncos guy,
gunslinger.
but Bo Nix, I love watching Bo Nix.
Not
Bo
a
Nix at
Broncos
Oregon
guy.
was a G.
But a Bo Nix guy.
All right. So and then for the NFC, I know the Lions are the Lions and the Eagles have clinched.
Lions will be number
Eagles.
one.
Lions will be
Those are
number
the-
1.
yep.
Eagles will be number 2. Seahawks are 3.
So as
Seahawks
of
are
right now,
3.
it'd be Seahawks at 3, Buccaneers at 4.
I don't really care who the Buccaneers are going to be the only representative of
How
that
are you-
division.
Hold on, that game. That
they're
division's
7-6
tight.
and first in the NFC
That
South.
division's tight, but it's so
Hold
bleach
on,
eats.
though.
I don't even care.
The Buccaneers are 7-6, Falcons 6-7, Saints 5-8.
And then there's the
It's not
Panthers.
half bad.
And then there's the Panthers.
There's Panthers. Who,
They don't have a
the
lot
Falcons
going
are on a
for 'em.
4-game losing streak.
Yeah,
Like they've lost 4 games straight.
they were 6-3 at one point. and then-
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm not really a
Who do we think are going to be in on the wild card spot?
I'm just saying, I would love to see the Commanders make the playoffs simply because of Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
And that defense is pretty decent.
I hope, honestly, as an Eagles fan, I hope that the Commanders don't make the playoffs because I don't like them.
And there's the Mason Ryan signature.
I think
Hated.
that
I just like Jaden Daniels, to be honest. I don't really care about anything else. Jaden Daniels at LSU
He's
was
kind of
pretty
a dog.
fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun football.
So we'll have
Loki forgot he won the Heisman.
Who do you think? So who do we think are going to be the wild card people? As of now, it would be the Vikings, Packers, and Commanders. Do you think that changes?
No, I don't think it will. I don't think it will.
You don't think that changes?
No.
No, honestly.
No, I don't.
mean,
I don't see that changing.
It'd
All right.
be cool. It'd be really.
be
No, the
cool to
Rams.
see the
What about the
Rams,
Rams? I was just thinking about the Rams actually, and I talked about the Rams earlier.
Oh, we got another trade. Blue Jays are finalizing a trade for 3-time Gold Glove winning second baseman Andres Jimenez from the Guardians.
They can have him. I don't care.
Yep.
Honestly, he sucks
Shout
at
out
hitting.
Big Q. He's probably not happy.
Okay, so wrapping up the NFL, we already. Speaking of MLB, last night Juan Soto became a Met for the next 15 years for 700 and how much?
Too many.
700, I think 60 million.
I think it was 760 million.
700
700 too much.
700 too much million. What are boys? What are the thoughts?
I have severe, I'm going to have flashbacks to this moment. I don't care if he can play defense. I don't care if he can't play defense. Have you seen how that guy swings a bat?
Hold up. Listen. My thoughts on Juan Soto as a Yankees fan are actually quite mild compared to every other Yankees fan.
Okay, so here's Rob.
All right, they're not horrible. For one, you went over to play in the slums.
Yeah.
Anybody from Queens can come at me, bro. I really don't care. Queens is the slums.
Queen sucks.
Honestly, not saying the Bronx is the nicest,
Also
but
sucks.
if you were Juan Soto, bro, you were sitting there and you're like, I could either go to the Yankees or literally any other city, but I chose to go to the hood.
I'm going to freaking Queens, dude.
Let's go to the
Bro, I feel like nobody chooses to be like, I'm going to the Mets.
I'm gonna go play in the toilet bowl and
I'm gonna go play the toilet bowl. So everybody every New Yorker can be like, oh, you play for the other New York team. You play for the other team in New York.
Yeah,
You don't play for the Yankees, you play
other
for the
one.
Mets.
Yeah. You play for the Mets.
For the next 15
The
years,
Mets.
people are gonna see Juan Soto on the street and go, hey, Juan, kill yourself. That's what's gonna happen.
Dude, if I'm him, I am going anywhere but
He
the state of New
had
York.
such a good
Dude,
deal from the
honestly,
Dodgers.
The Dodgers
too.
could have.
I would have. Yo, if I were Juan Soto and I didn't want to be a Yankee, I would have just gone to LA.
They literally made the. There's no reason they're World Series champions.
True.
Why wouldn't you go there?
LeBron's been having a tough time. The Cowboys lost and the Yankees lost Juan Soto. It's a tough year for Cowboys fans.
Yo, everybody's got the same rotation too.
So speaking of players that might be moving around in the MLB, Cardinals are shopping Arenado.
Don't care, honestly.
I
Arenado's
think-
38.
Yeah, but I mean,
What was gonna happen? Let's be honest.
I want to keep Alec Bohm. For a long time, I was an Alec Bohm, Alec Bohm.
I watched Alec.
There's a
Bohm.
TikTok.
I watched.
Is
The,
that TikTok
I watched
slow?
the I hate this place. I watched the I hate this place game, and after that, I bought a shirt that says I hate this place, and Now he's gonna go. Now he's gonna be gone. So
Freaking Alec Boehm, dude.
maybe he does hate this place.
I've been here
I don't know.
since Alec Boehm was a little freaking child in the MLB
He was a
system.
youngin'.
When bro was playing
He was
for
a
the
youngin'.
Williamsport Crosscutters,
Oh my
I watched
God.
that boy hit a
Insane
homer.
pull.
And
Insane
he was
pull.
still, that was a Phillies organization
Crazy
team.
pull.
I mean, they're an MLB draft league now, but like they were part of the organization, bro. That was a straight
That
pull.
is a fantastic pull.
Back when bro was in low A. I loved Alec. I've been an Alec Boehm fan since the
Day
day
one.
he came up, bro.
Literally
I've been an
since
Alec
day
Boehm-
one.
I'm not even a Phillies
I've
fan.
been an Alec Boehm hater since the day he came up, and then I'm like,
He low-key's
oh,
not-
maybe he's actually playing well.
He sucks
and
at
then here he
defense.
comes and like throws like probably about 5 games out of the throws 5 games from the season at least.
So the NCAA had their conference championships this week. Big Ten, Oregon beat Penn State 45-37 in a game where defense just went completely out the window.
Yeah, a lot of points were left on the board for Penn State. The interception was costly. Was closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be 2 scores, but it was only 8 points. Penn State came crawling back after I stopped watching, so
I think it was a good game to show the fact that Oregon is not as completely unbeatable as I think they came in the season being.
Big Game James almost beat him. Big Game James, we're talking
literally.
here. Big Game James, who's getting ready to beat SMU and lose to Boise State.
Yeah, Loki. Boise State. I love Boise State. We'll talk about them later.
Speaking of SMU, Clemson beat SMU 34-31.
Never in my mind would I think it'd be an upset for Clemson to beat Southern Methodist.
Okay, well,
Ever.
Southern Methodist. All right, I'm a believer in Southern Methodist. I'm not gonna lie because I don't think they're gonna win the conference champion or anything. Honestly, I don't think
Nothing.
they're even gonna win the game versus Penn State. But as a team that was a Group of 5 team coming up, they've been in the American for the past 6 years.
They got hit with the death
They
penalty.
got hit with the
They
death
got hit with the
penalty.
only team ever to get hit with the death penalty.
Yes.
Is the SMU Mustangs.
The only team to get hit with the death penalty in D1 FBS college football. And they've come back. They had their first bowl win since the death penalty in 2009. And then now they're in the ACC and went to the ACC championship
So,
and now the college football
To be
playoff.
real, SMU is such a garbage college football team
Oh, yeah.
historically. But the last 3 years they've been something to talk about, honestly, because they did a really good showing in the American the last couple of years. They moved up to a big conference and nobody expected them to do anything. But what are they, 11-2, 11-3?
Yeah, the ponies are rolling.
The ponies are freaking
The
rolling.
ponies are
For a
rolling.
team that's historically not been good, as much as people talk about, Clemson beating them and that being a big deal, I think we could say that SMU even making it to the championship is huge. And I think they deserve a playoff chance over Alabama, personally.
It's a good thing they did.
Speaking of a game that was pretty good, because I got to watch a lot of this game, Georgia beat Texas 22-19 in the SEC championship game.
I believe I said last week that Georgia was going to beat Texas.
You did.
So,
And
I'm pretty
Georgia
sure you
beat
did.
Texas with a backup quarterback, so...
he
Dude,
played a
that
good
injury
game.
looked bad. It was the same thing that happened to, it's the same thing that, was it Reddick?
Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick did to,
Snapped his arm like the torn UCL.
yeah, did the exact same thing to him as he did to Brock Purdy.
I think Georgia is low-key Texas kryptonite because
yeah.
they lost them twice. Those are the only 2 teams that, or those are the only 2 games that Texas has lost this year, and it's been to Georgia. And they don't play Georgia in the playoff, which is nice.
So now we get to say... Now we know which one's the fake SEC team. So
Yeah, honestly. You know
Now,
what?
now we know who's superior in the SEC.
Should have stayed in the Big 12, Texas.
Yeah. Should have kept playing with like TCU and Colorado and Baylor and
Arizona-
all those teams.
Arizona played Iowa State in an absolute blowout win.
Arizona State.
Arizona State beat Iowa State in an absolute blowout, 45-19.
That was a crazy game to watch. I don't know if you guys really watched it. I watched the entire game. But Iowa State was the team I thought they were going to win coming in because Iowa State, they have a very versatile offense. They got the multiples offense going. They run between the tackles. They do jet sweeps. They have amazing, amazing receiving core, in my opinion.
Got blown out.
They got blown out by Cam frickin' Scattaboo, who hit the Heisman pose at the end of the game.
Plays football the right way.
He does play football the right way.
He ain't winning the Heisman.
He's not. But
He ain't winning the Heisman.
Cam Scatterbo, what a guy!
Cam Scattaboo, Okay, I was about to say something crazy. All right, I'm about to say it. You should cut it out. Cam Scatterbo, best white running back in college football.
Yep.
All right, let me restart for a second. Cam Scatterbo, though, honestly, is quite a cool player to think about. You know, I've never really followed Arizona State until this year, actually until last week, because, you know, they've been a bottom feeding program for most of their...
Oh, yeah.
They were 3-9 last year, 3-9 the year before. I think they were 5-7 the year before that. Like, they're not a good football team normally. But Cam Scatterbo, who was actually a really cool guy to come in because he was at an FCS school before. I think he was at Sacramento State, and he transferred in, I think, last year or the year before. And he's been such a big part of Arizona State's, not even just their offense. He's punted. Last year he had 9 attempts punted.
He did.
He would punt. He also has had a lot of quarterback action, too, for a guy who does not play quarterback. I just think that's honestly a crazy team to be in the playoff. In the first year of the 12-team playoff, that Arizona State's in and Alabama is not, and that warms my soul.
Yeah,
I do not like Alabama.
USC wanted to leave the Pac-12 because they want to leave the Pac-12 because they play teams like Arizona State. They didn't want to play those kinds of teams, so they left to go to the Big Ten and went 6-6 and was the most mid team in the country. And
Miller Moss is transferring too. They chose Jordan Mayava over him, honestly. Which, you know, I think in hindsight you would want Miller Moss to stay there because I think he's a more proven quarterback. But Jordan Mayava is he's played a crazy couple games. I mean, his last game wasn't great.
Yeah, but like them wanting to go to the Big Ten and not succeeding, and then here comes Arizona State, and they just won the Big 12. Like,
that's crazy too. It's their first year in the conference. You know, and they've always been a Pac-12 bottom feeder. And it's just crazy to see.
You mean Pac-2?
Okay, we'll get to the Pac-2.
The, Oregon won the Big Ten, and they were a Pac-12 team. Arizona State won the Big 12, and they're a Pac-12 team. So that really just proves that Big Ten runs college football.
So we just pulled up the college football bracket for the upcoming playoff. So the first game, Tennessee plays Ohio State in a game that I don't think anybody has Tennessee winning.
No, it's in Columbus. So.
It's in Columbus. It's in the Horseshoe. Ohio State, they're angry. They just came off their loss against Michigan.
Yep. They just kicked a couple guys' ass.
Yeah, like, honestly, that was an ugly game. But I think Ohio State is
I think the game was more ugly after the game.
Dude, the fight was awesome, dude.
It was awesome.
We talked about it last episode that fight was amazing. And then Philadelphia legend pulled up.
Jason Avant taking the flag, baby.
Yo.
I got Jason Avant's signature on a towel.
Really?
Yeah.
Sick.
So I think Ohio State wins that game. You know, Tennessee, they're a good team, but I do not see them beating Ohio State.
They're not beating Ohio State, but another game that I don't really see an upset happening. Clemson versus Texas.
No, Texas is going to
Texas is going to mop the floor with Clemson.
They are going to squish them.
SMU, who for some reason, I don't think people should have viewed Clemson beating SMU as an upset. But Clemson and SMU being that close, SMU is not Texas.
No.
They're not Texas.
Genuinely, I think Texas steamrolls.
Yeah.
They steamroll Clemson.
All right, let's go to the next side of the bracket. So it's
the other plans.
Yeah, so it's Indiana versus Notre Dame in South Bend.
I see Notre Dame winning that game.
Yeah.
Look, big believer in the Indiana Hoosiers, honestly. I love seeing them play well. I'm a big Curtis Rourke kind of guy, honestly. I think he's going to get picked in the draft somewhere, hopefully. I mean, I don't know if he's actually going to get picked, but...
want to.
I want to see Curtis Rourke and the Indiana Hoosiers play good. And as a team who, if they went, I think it's 12-0 for the next 10 years or so, would not even be 500.
Yeah.
And Kurt Signetti, or however you say his name, is a crazy good coach. He took... he took JMU, who was an FCS school not even that long ago, and did crazy things with them, got them ranked. They had one of the best middle linebackers in the country, and then he goes over to Indiana, and they're a good team. So I really hope... I want to see them win the game, but I see Notre Dame beating them.
Yeah, I think this is where Indiana gets exposed, and I feel like...
They already got exposed versus Ohio State.
They already did, and this is where Indiana finally plays in a team that knows what sport they're playing. So... I got Indiana losing the game. I think Notre Dame's going to win.
And then we have SMU versus Penn State in a game that, again, I don't think SMU is winning.
SMU's got an outdoor stadium in Texas, and they've got to go to Happy Valley. cold Beaver Stadium for a noon whiteout.
Freaking big noon.
Yo,
A 12 o'clock whiteout, baby.
Screw big noon.
A 12 o'clock whiteout. Aren't you guys so excited for a noon whiteout game?
do you want to hear a score prediction right now for this game?
Go ahead.
I'm thinking Penn State, 38-13.
I could see that. That seems
Like I think SMU is a team who they're kind of a Cinderella story,
They're getting
like
clapped.
Indiana and Boise State and all those other teams, but they're gonna get clapped.
Yeah, they're going to
Speaking of Boise State, so if we have Penn State winning, that would mean they play Boise State.
Boise State.
I
Boise
genuinely see Boise State's diversity in their offense and Ashton Janty rushing for over 2,000 yards is going to steamroll Penn State. I think
On
Penn
paper,
State's a good team.
I think Penn State's defense can stand up to Ashton Genty, but we're talking about Big Game James here. We're
Yeah.
talking about Big Game James. He cannot win against
big
ranked
ones.
teams.
He can't
What
win
is
the
he,
big
1
ones.
in 15 versus
He can't win the
ranked
big
teams?
ones. He can't win the big ones. That's no secret.
Wouldn't it be funny if he
I
lost
love
to
James.
SMU?
I love James Franklin, but he can't win the big ones.
If we lose
Boise
to if Penn State loses to SMU, I'm gonna smack my head against concrete.
I'm not watching college football if they lose to
Look.
SMU. I'm not watching the rest of the playoff.
If you go to the other side of over to the other side of the bracket,
We didn't do the Georgia game.
one of the coolest
Georgia's gonna win anyways.
matchups. Yes, we did. We did the Georgia game.
Georgia's gonna win
Georgia
anyways.
versus Notre Dame.
Georgia's gonna beat
No,
Notre
we didn't
Dame.
we haven't really talked about this yet. All right, you know what? We'll talk about the Georgia game. Hold up. All right. So honestly, what I think is going to happen is Notre Dame is going to beat Indiana, and Notre Dame and Georgia are going to play. And Georgia's a good football team. I'm not saying they're not, but Notre Dame's on a roll, and obviously outside of their NIU loss, they're undefeated. And I think they're a very well coached team and a very diverse team. And I would really love to see Notre Dame beat Georgia.
No.
I hate Georgia.
Georgia's gonna win.
It's not
I
happening.
hate Georgia.
Georgia's gonna win.
You're delusional.
There's
No,
gonna be
I am
a-
not delusional.
there's gonna
Notre
be-
Dame is a good football team.
There's going to be a random linebacker that has like 15 sacks in these next 3 games, and he's going to get drafted by the Eagles, and Georgia's going to win it.
I'll let
Look.
you. If they beat Georgia, I'll let you come on here and laugh at the two of us for 30 minutes.
Georgia, I'm just saying, obviously, Notre Dame does not play great opponents. They're freaking, they're not.
They're-
in
They
a
need to be
conference.
forced to join a
It's a bad
conference.
team.
They need to be joined. They need to be forced to
They're
join
in
a conference.
for like every
Oh
sport.
my gosh, they need. Well, what are they? They're in the Big Ten, aren't they?
No, they're on.
They
They're
are.
not.
They're in the
free
Big
agents.
Ten for like
Everything.
wrestling and like
That's what I thought.
hockey, and then they're in like the ACC for basketball and like a bunch of.
They
other
were in
stuff.
the ACC for a season in the in 2020, I believe. They were in the ACC
The Mickey Mouse.
in the Mickey Mouse season, and then they got rid of that.
Mickey
But
Mouse
I
season.
genuinely think that they should stay and be. They need to be put in a conference because.
They're too good to not be in a conference.
Okay, they're gonna be 12-0 or close to it every single season because they're going out there and playing UConn, UMass, UTSA, all these teams that aren't necessarily bad teams, but they're
Roadrunners
yo
the
UTSA
Roadrunners
is
out.
gas, but like
playing in the Alamo Dome.
They're gonna play the University of Southern Melbourne at this point. And
Southern Melbourne.
And if you haven't seen this,
that's in friggin' Australia.
it's a reference to the game last night. Well, to the game because that's where Bart Simpson said he went to college, so it says "you smell."
bro, they're gonna be down there playing the freaking Alfred University Saxons before they play an
Alfred
SEC.
State.
Shout out Alfred.
Yeah. How about we just put like whoever wins D3, so like let's put Cortland versus Notre Dame, and I
Cortland
think
versus
Cortland's
Notre
gonna
Dame.
win.
That would be something cool. Yo, you gotta be a G if you know about them Cortland Red Dragons.
Yup.
That's all I'm saying. One thing upstate New York breeds is some crazy good D3 football teams.
And some crazy riots after they lose that too. The Cortica Jug should not be slept on.
Yo, the Cortica Jug, look, I know it's D3 football. I know
it's
it's
the
D3
Jug.
football, but it's the Jug. It's one of the coolest rivalries, in my
All right,
opinion.
let's finish this up
It's
so I don't run
Cortica.
out of storage again.
All right.
Two games. We'll save the semis for later.
All right. I really want to talk about Ohio State and Oregon, though.
Ohio State, Oregon.
I think as much as Oregon is obviously the juggernaut, and I'm always going to be rooting for a team that's not Oregon, not Georgia, not Alabama. So I'm
Ohio
biased.
State.
And I don't even like Ohio State. But I think Ohio State, if they play their cards right, if Will Howard plays a good game, and if their defense plays well, Jack Sawyer has a good game, then I think that they have the potential to beat Oregon. And I would love to see that.
I think Oregon wins.
I don't think
I
that's
think,
out of the realm.
look, if we're being as realistic or as blank as you guys are, then Oregon wins the whole thing. But I don't want to see Oregon win the whole thing.
You're gonna.
We're saying, this is
That's not
a
what I wanna
prediction.
see.
This isn't the my heart. No, this is a prediction.
A prediction: Indiana Hoosiers win the whole thing. Indiana Hoosiers are going to be up there in the college football playoff game, and they're going to be playing their butts off because of Kurt Signetti and Curtis Rourke.
No.
And that's going to be
No.
All right, so it would be Texas versus Arizona State.
Texas.
Texas.
And Arizona State.
It's going to be Oregon versus Texas in the semis.
It's not like they're playing Iowa State
Yeah,
anymore, buddy.
Oregon versus Texas. Oregon wins, and then like
Boise State versus Georgia.
I think
Georgia
Boise
wins, and it's
I want Boise State to
Oregon,
win.
Georgia.
Oregon, Georgia. Oregon wins. Oregon wins the whole thing.
Wow.
Okay, you know, if somebody's going to win, I don't want Georgia to win. I'd
If
rather see
someone's gonna
Oregon.
win,
Oregon's
I
never
like
won a
this.
chip. They've never won a national championship.
Because they've always sucked.
They've always been bad, except the
always
last
been
like
bad.
15 years.
So moving on to the NBA, Scotty Barnes is hurt again, which is a
shocker.
travesty to you.
The king of autism.
He's on my fantasy basketball team. He is my mascot, and please come back soon.
Yeah, I just
I don't want to have to keep playing. I don't have to keep playing like Agbaji and stuff instead of him.
So
I want to come back to his streams. I just want to watch him stream. I actually don't care or know anything about Scotty Barnes other than his streams.
Next up, the Heat may be trading Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler's dog monkey.
Come back
I would
to
love
the-
to see that.
Come back to the Sixers.
No,
There's
No.
never
Why would
left
he
in
do
the
that?
first place.
I think the Heat should build another dream team. Bring back LeBron.
the Heat are like never back.
bring back LeBron. Yeah, that's not happening.
Bring back LeBron. Use Dwayne Wade's hideous statue and Chris Bosh, and you know that's the pick for
that
over again.
statue is horrible.
Dude,
It's so bad.
I'm banning statues from like ever. Like Allen
From
Iverson.
ever.
Allen Iverson is a midget, and like they made Allen Iverson the size of a beer can, pretty much. Like he's the size. He's like the size of that lamp over there.
For content, I'm not gonna grab the lamp.
Like I've seen life-size statues, and I've seen up-to-scale statues, and small statues are horrible.
Agreed.
Horrible.
Just spend the extra money.
Just spend
Build
the
a
extra
regular
money,
statue.
get some marble going, get the guy chiseling, and you know, there you go. You have a statue. That's
Yeah,
bigger.
who did Allen Iverson play for?
The Sixers.
The Sixers.
The Sixers
definitely
and the
have the
Nuggets.
money
Of course
to
it's
build a nice statue for him.
Yeah, they're building a new arena.
All I know
in
about
Center City,
AI
so
is his cornrows.
they can get all those. So you can build it right in the middle of Center City, and you know, make everyone not happy. So
Moving on to the NHL, the Sabres fans want Kevin fired.
I think the Sabres.
They brought inflatable palm trees and told him to get and chanted "Fire Kevin."
yeah, the
They want him
Sabres
gone.
are horrible.
I think they should just like.
Not even Lindy Ruff can save the Sixers. I mean the Sabres. Like
I think the only person who could save him is Jesus, and
They
I
should
think that's
put-
about it.
They should pull in Arizona
I'm not even
and
sure
just
about
drop
that.
out. They should pull in Arizona and just.
I
Drop
think they
out.
should just say, you know what, we're going on a hiatus just for the season. We need to get that number 1 overall draft pick that we'll eventually lose
They
because
need
the
to
draft
just
lottery
like
is rigged.
stop playing for a while and restart.
Yeah,
They need to just
themselves
sell
a-
the franchise.
They need themselves
honestly.
a Matvey Michkov.
So,
Matt Mitchell. That's a crazy play.
final part of our show is the player game bum of the week. So we'll start with player of the week. Mason,
I don't really have any.
really?
To be honest, I don't have any.
You're not going to say Josh Allen?
No.
Josh Allen. All right. Josh Allen, I could say, is the player of the week. He had a crazy game. 350 yards, almost 100 yards on the ground, 6 touchdowns.
I got Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford played,
Matt Stafford.
played a decent game.
Matt Stafford.
I would say it's definitely Josh
He
Allen.
won.
I'm giving my player of the week to somebody for a different reason. Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill
Yep. Congratulations on the
On
accomplishment of
of childbirth.
childbirth and another touchdown reception.
Yep,
So,
I'll see you in the child sports
good
field.
job, buddy.
All right, game of the week.
Penn State Oregon was pretty good.
Penn State Oregon was a good game. I mean, the Chiefs and Chargers game was kind of a good game.
That's devil magic.
Yeah, it was definitely voodoo magic. Not a big
Voodoo.
Chiefs guy, honestly.
Voodoo.
Frick the Chiefs.
Devil, whatever. I don't know.
I'm giving my game to the Rams versus the Bills.
That was a good game.
I think that's an obvious pick.
Worst game of the week goes to the Eagles game. That one was horrible.
I would say it goes to the Bengals and the Cowboys.
I was going to say it goes to the Jags and the Titans.
Any
10 to
game-
6.
Because nobody
Any game-
watched that game.
Any game where the Cowboys lose is a good game. All right.
Amen.
Okay.
And then bum of the week.
Bum of the week, I have the Philadelphia Flyers. They've lost like 3 straight.
Your life is
They
miserable.
they are absolutely horrible when it comes to like not taking penalties. Like I don't care if they're like bring back the Broad Street Bullies, and I don't think they'd have as many penalty minutes. Like at least they won the Stanley Cup doing that. This team sucks. This team sucks. This team is horrible.
I just want to point out this is the same guy glazing the Flyers about, what was it, first episode 3 weeks ago?
About what?
How good Matvey Michkov and the Flyers are?
Matvey Michkov is not the issue.
I think the players that are good on the Flyers are like Konechny, Michkov, Bobby Brink,
And that's kind of
and
it.
like Cam York. And then the rest of the guys are like filler dudes. Like
Dude, I've got Farabee on my fantasy hockey team. He's doing nothing.
Beezer had like
Oh, I never set my lineup.
Beezer had like 2 games.
Oh my gosh. I just realized that.
Farabee had like 2 decent games.
Dang
and
it,
then,
I
like,
didn't even realize that.
That's it. So, bum of the week goes to Flyers.
I would say my
They
bum of
suck.
the week goes to Juan Soto. You chose to live in the streets and in the rat
chose
hole.
Well, my bum of the week was the Yankees, but I think it's going to go to you now.
Juan Soto, I'll see you in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lair, buddy.
in the sewer.
There under City Field.
All right.
Jeez.
I'm going to give my bum of the week to...
Oh, I think I still have time to set my lineup.
That's a good one, because there wasn't a ton of bums this week.
Juan Soto.
I think I'm going to give it to the
You're out.
defense of the Penn State and Oregon.
What about,
Neither of those
what about
teams-
Jalen Hurts? He had a horrible game.
Neither of those
they still
neither of
came
those
out
teams
with a
could
win.
get a stop to save their life. Mason, would that be your bum of the
No,
week?
bum of the week still the Flyers.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Corey, for coming on.
Of course. Yep. I did just fart.
Okay. Well,
We're done that.
no, I'm not closing that. Any final remarks?
Juan Soto. I'm coming for you.
Should have gone to the Phillies. Honestly, we don't have any money to pay.
He should have just not gone to the Mets. I wouldn't have cared if he didn't go to the Mets.
Okay. Well,
I actually would have rather seen him go to Boston. Because I hate the freaking Red Sox.
I hate the Mets. I hate the Mets.
But the
Why do you
Mets
think I
suck.
feel? It's the Mets.
At
It's
least
the Mets.
Boston
it's
has,
the Mets.
like-
They knocked us out of the playoffs. It's over.
The Mets, bro. Alright, the one thing, if you go to Boston, at least you can justify living in Boston. You can't justify living in the sewers of Queens.
You can justify living in Philadelphia. Probably not. But
Not really. You can
Not
No,
really.
not really.
Alright.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next week.